Yeah. So as Chitra mentioned, I'm the CEO of GenWise. I think what prompted me to be interested in topic both from a personal and business perspective is that it's become very prominent now, right? It has not left any nook and corner. And second, the level of sophistication, right? Now, typically, what we have seen in a physical world, Chitra, right, is that the thieves or the robbers have a way of operating, and then the enforcement agencies like police or law are basically ahead of them, right? So there are ways to curb. Unfortunately, when it comes to online and phone scams related to money, the enforcement agencies are still catching up, but fraudsters every day find a new way to do it, right? I mean, I'll give you an example. I prepared for this session yesterday morning, and I had listed down 7, 8 top cases which I wanted to discuss. But then in the evening, I read about ninth, right? So that's how the fast the world is changing, and I thought, okay, I'll cover that verbally in the session. So I think it's the prevalence, uh, it's it's the sophistication, which is sort of makes it a very very important topic. I think the good thing is it's very easy to protect yourself once you are aware of how it can happen, right? Most people do not understand how it can happen, and if and and second, to be aware that it can happen to anyone, right? And third, to be vocal about it. Like if you got, I've seen many people, let's say if unfortunately they have been, scammed for let's say 1,000 rupees, right? They will hide it because they feel ashamed instead of sharing that journey with their family, friends, and community so that others don't get into it. I think these are very very important things as we sort of think through it. Yeah, so that's the short answer to your question. And uh, okay,
Yeah, we can
so
see the screen.
I think just some statistics to sort of start with. I think every day we hear, news around all of us, which basically says that frauds are on the rise, right? Whether it's 3,500 crores or, uh, you know, people, how many people that have been frauded, right? I think the unfortunate scenario is that recovery in this is nearly very low. I think only 20 to 25% of the money gets recovered, right? So I think you have to stop it from happening. The chances of stolen money coming is very, very rare because it travels very, very fast, right? It can go from account X to Y to Z in no time, and some layer can turn genuine, right? For example, if a person A has frauded person B, but then C offered some service to B which was genuine, right? And B paid using that money. Now you can't. I mean, even if police catches C, they cannot recover from C because C actually sold something to B and got that money, right? He had no way to figure out that B got this money by scamming a genuine user. So I think recovery is, I would say, nearly impossible. So it's very, very important to be, to be sort of prevented rather than look for a cure. Now, most unfortunate, I think, is that seniors or elders, right, I think are the biggest segment that these scamsters target. I think two reasons. Number one is I mentioned is the which is the social barrier around informing others if they have been scammed, right? And second, I think is just that the new. I mean, these frauds have basically come with the new way of payments, the new way of online transactions. I think a lot of elders and seniors still don't use it, so they don't understand. If you don't understand how payment works, it's very difficult to prevent a fraud from being happening, right? So I think it's becoming a very very worrisome trend in the market today. Obviously, there are a lot of law enforcement authorities also working to prevent these cases. Every day we hear the news, but still they are on the rise, right? And today's session, a short session, is just an attempt to make you aware of what all can happen. I'm not saying it's going to be exhaustive, but at least you will know and you will be able to figure out parallels in case it's happening with you, right? So what I have today, right, is I have not sort of looked at, there are about 35 kinds of fraud which I'm aware of can happen. I have picked top eight sort of to discuss in this session. Now, on each of those eight, I have a small video, and then I will sort of tell how to prevent, right? The video covers how the fraud can happen, and then I'll cover how the prevention can basically happen. So I'll start the first video. Chitra, let me know if you can hear the sound.
Sure. Yeah. अब ई कॉमर्स के जरिए हो रहा है एक नया स्कैम। आपके घर कोई पार्सल की डिलीवरी की जाएगी जो आपने ऑर्डर ही नहीं की। उस ऑर्डर की आपसे पेमेंट मांगी जाएगी या आपको बोला जाएगा कि इस ऑर्डर को कैंसिल कर दीजिए। कैंसिल करने के लिए एक वेब पेज पर आपकी पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन की जानकारी ली जाएगी, जैसे कि बैंक अकाउंट या डेबिट क्रेडिट कार्ड डिटेल्स। आपको बोला जाएगा कि ओटीपी डालते ही ऑर्डर कैंसिल हो जाएगा, पर आपके ओटीपी बताने पर आपके अकाउंट से पैसे कट जाएंगे। इस स्कैम से कैसे बचें? अगर आपने ऑर्डर किया है तो उसी ऐप पर ऑर्डर कैंसिल करें। अगर ऑर्डर नहीं किया है तो ऐसा पैकेज रिसीव ना करें। कभी भी किसी भी सस्पिशियस लिंक पे अपनी बैंकिंग या कार्ड की इंफॉर्मेशन ना डालें।
I think the reason behind putting this in first is that they just don't will try. I mean, fraudsters don't try to like in physical world, what we have seen is that if there is a robbery happening, someone will come into a house or an office of someone and try to take away the goods, right? In online world, the sophistication is much more, meaning you will not even realize that something fishy is happening. Now, what happened in this case? The person basically got a courier saying that, hey, you have ordered this from Flipkart, and please take it, and it's a COD order, so you need to pay me, right? Now, okay, you would not have ordered anything, but the courier guy will say, okay, there seems to be a mistake. Can you just cancel the order by giving an OTP, right? Now you are basically saying, okay, I'm canceling the order. Something wrong happened at the company platform level. Why trouble the courier guy? And give an OTP, right? And the moment you give the OTP, the money sort of vanishes, because maybe that person already had your credit card details and just needed an OTP to fraud you, right? So it's not that they just try to directly attack online, right? I mean, many a times we see that cyber security may computer may, so there is some virus in the computer because of which the control was taken, right? That is now not how these online scams are happening. They lay a trap, right, where you are involved in actions, right, and yet you will lose the money. And that is why there is a lot of sophistication that is going on, right? And that is why we need to be a lot more aware, right? Now, I think so that is why it's a very, very important topic to be aware of, and to sort of spread awareness in your friends, family, and community member that it happens, right? And it happens with everyone. If it happens with someone, it's okay, right? There is no need to be ashamed, or there is no need to hide that it has happened. So that's basically, I hope this video sort of gives all the participants that what how sophisticatedly fraudsters play a trap. I think the way to protect is simple. Only receive orders you have placed. Be very brutal. If you need to cancel, go to the official website or official app and only then cancel. And third, if any such fishy person is asking for your bank account details to cancel, uh, you know, or to receive a refund, just be very, very careful. Only put it on the official platform, official websites, right? I think that there is, whenever you are putting your bank account details, make sure they are official platforms. If you are not official, if you are not aware, or you are unsure, err on the conservative side. Either ask a friend or a family member, or don't do it. It's important to be conservative rather than try to sort of solve things, right? Because one wrong mistake and entire life savings of a person can go, right? Some of these bank accounts hold our entire life savings, etc. And if someone else gets control, it's really a very, very bad scenario. So that's on the one. Okay, I'll move on. Okay, very prominent. I'm sure all of you use UPI or have tried UPI or want to use UPI. UPI is probably the biggest innovation that has come from India into the world, right? I think if there is one field in technology where we can say that India leads the country. India leads in all the countries of the world. I think it's UPI payments, right? It's a very simple technology, very simple, very secure, right? But with that, people have learned how to steal money through UPI. Again, as I mentioned, there is no loophole in technology, meaning if you do not give your OTP or PIN, no fraud can ever happen on UPI. However, people lay a trap, right? And we will see now one example of how people lay that trap.
इंडिया में स्कैमर्स अब यूपीआई के जरिए आपके पैसे चुरा रहे हैं। आपको ये भरोसा दिया जाएगा कि पैसे रिसीव करने के लिए यूपीआई पिन डालें। आपको एक मैसेज आएगा जिस पे क्लिक करते ही आपसे यूपीआई पिन मांगा जाएगा। यूपीआई पिन डालते ही आपके अकाउंट से पैसे कट जाएंगे। इस स्कैम से कैसे बचे? यूपीआई एक आरबीआई और एनपीसीआई द्वारा बनाई गई एक सुरक्षित टेक्नोलॉजी है। हमेशा ये ध्यान रखिए कि यूपीआई पिन डालने से हमेशा आपके अकाउंट से पैसे कटते हैं, ना कि रिसीव होते हैं। रिसीव करने के लिए कोई भी पिन की आवश्यकता नहीं होती।
So I'll cover how they lay a trap, like real life case attempted with me, right? I got a call from a person who was talking as if he's in 40s, and he said he's a colleague of my father, and my father had given him 10,000 rupees, right? And then he called me and he was talking to me very, very professionally, right? All entirely in a very good English language, everything. And he said, my father is in a meeting, so therefore he has told me to transfer it to me, right? So I should get 10,000 rupees that my father was owed on his behalf in my account. I said, okay, why don't you transfer? He asked me for my account details. I gave him my account details. No problem in giving account details. No one can steal the money even if they know account details, right? And then I mean, I gave my UPI ID, and then he basically said you would have gotten a message on which you have to click, and you have to enter a PIN, and then you will receive 10,000 rupees, right? Now, instead of sending me a request to sending me payment, he had sent me basically a request to collect money, right? So I clicked on that page, the UPI screen on the app opened, and I was asked to enter my PIN. And if I would have entered my PIN, I would have lost 10,000 rupees, right? So that's again a trap, how a trap was laid. Now, obviously, I knew he's attempting a fraud. So I told him, I mean, this will not work with me, and he immediately cut the phone, right? This is one example of how they ask for a UPI PIN. I'll tell you another example. Again, happened with actually happened with one of my aunts in the family, and she unfortunately fell to this, right? So again, he called, I mean, the scamster called my aunt and said that, ma'am, I have to give you 500 rupees that I had owed to your son, right? And actually 500 rupees were owed to the son somehow, right? So, and then again, my aunt gave the account details. Now he didn't transfer any amount, right? So he didn't initiate any link of UPI because maybe my aunt was more aware. Instead, he sent a message from an unknown number saying rupees 50,000 has been transferred to your account number NEFT XXXYY, right? And obviously, when he sent a message, and my aunt got the message that 50,000 rupees received in bank account, right? And then he told my aunt, oh, instead of 5,500, I transferred 50,000. And can you pay me back 49,500 rupees, please, right? And here is my UPI details. And obviously, my aunt thought, okay, I have received 50,000. I had to only receive 500. She basically went to her UPI app on her own, right? No link being shared, everything. Just said 49,500 transfer to this UPI ID, put the PIN, and then send. And the person said, oh, okay, thank you, I received back, thank you so much, right? And then 3 days later, she checked her passbook and realized the balance is low, and then her son got involved, and then she came to know as to what has happened, right? Now, this is the level of smartness that the fraudsters are saying. I mean, the idea to tell you this was two messages here, right? One is Whenever you are receiving money, there is no need to give a UPI pin. Only the VPA or a phone number or account details, whatever way you prefer to do the payment, receive the payment is more than enough, right? Second, whenever you receive a bank message that money has been received in such interaction, always check your bank passbook or online banking or whatever way you used to check, right? Before telling that, okay, I received this money by mistake from someone, I'll send it back, right? So I think that is very, very important. I mean, so please be very careful in these things. Again, they will not try to take away. I mean, fraudsters are not the people who try to install virus in your phone and take control and then, take all your money or scam you in some other way by taking access, right? No, that's not how it works. Fraudsters try to set a trap in which you unknowingly will give your OTP or transaction details, etc., and then will fall for it, right? So even then, banks won't come to you because banks have a safe policy. Uh, if you have given your OTP, we are not responsible for the fraud, right? We are only responsible for technically errors. And to be honest, frankly, in India, technology is so secure that there are no technology errors, right? Like without giving your UPI pin, no one can take money from your account through UPI. That much I can give you a comfort, right? So I think it's again, I think the idea is for all of us to be very, very careful of not to fall into these traps. I think that's it on this. Nakul sir has asked, in normal money transfer, we have two-factor authentication and debit card. Can these frauds be done without this protection? So exactly, you cannot be frauded if you do not share your second-factor authentication details with anyone, right? Uh, However, I would, so for example, if you do not give your second-factor OTP or second-factor PIN with anyone when you're doing an online transaction through debit card or credit card, you cannot be frauded, right? And again, to receive money, you don't need to give a PIN. However, I will give one flag. In debit card and credit card, international transactions can happen without the second OTP PIN, which means if someone has your credit card and debit card details, which means the full number and the CVV and the expiry date, there are on certain international websites, although RBI has been cracking out on those, and now it's actually very, very quite near impossible. But still, some international transactions can happen without second factor. Also, if you have an international debit card, I saw that a person from Berlin has joined, right? Now, a lot of foreign governments do not mandate second factor. So those cards can definitely have transactions with just putting in the credit card and debit card details, right? So do not give those details to any unknown person, even those details. Although just giving credit card, debit card details, in India, the money cannot be taken, but internationally it can happen. So be very, very careful. Is it safe to receive a mobile call from an unknown number not listed in one's contacts or not identified in Truecaller? Yes, sir, it is safe because if you don't receive an unknown number, sometimes the call might be genuine. Let's say you have ordered a parcel and the person is not registered on Truecaller. Truecaller does not have all the phone numbers. I think it's important not to, if it's a scam call, not to sort of act on it, right? Instead of not receiving a call. Sometimes even genuine phone numbers may not be on Truecaller. That is it safe to open from an email from an unknown entity? Does Mayor opening the email compromise your accounts? No, sir, opening the email does not compromise your account. But please go through the assuming you are opening your email in Gmail or Yahoo or any known email platforms, right? But after you have opened the email and you have read the content, if you are finding some links fishy, do not click on these links. So because those links can definitely lead you to an installation of a virus in your laptop, etc. So, but opening the email does not lead to fraud. What if they clone your mobile? How can they defraud? Please clear that angle. Veena ma'am has asked this question. Ma'am, mobile phone cloning, uh, actually, it's not that easy to do, right? Because I mean, as I said, in India, frauds do not happen because of lack of technological measures. They happen because you are in a trap. So that is, I mean, if they clone your mobile, I'll cover one fraud later, which is more about when they take control of your phone through any desk app. I think even in that you have given a code. So if you don't give a code, they will not clone your mobile. Many places we are asked to input CVV. Yes, ma'am, for a credit card, debit card transaction, CVV expiry and putting credit card number is absolutely okay. Just to tell you, wherever you put those are mandated by RBI in India that they have to be PCI DSS compliant. What that means is that they cannot store those details, right? So please rest assured, if it's a known platform, it's a good platform, right? Even if you put your card details there, it's safe. What you should not do is click a picture of your credit card and send it to a friend or send it to an unknown person saying that, okay, I have a payment issue, please solve it. That is a recipe for disaster. It's absolutely okay to put your credit card, debit card details on known payment pages, right? But do not click a picture and send it to an unknown person. That is where the problem happens. Usually SMS alerts from banks, etc., can have a prefix like AXTN. Absolutely, sir. Uh, uh, um, uh, SBI has SBN, American Airtel has AX, etc. Everyone has a prefix, right? But these are very easy to procure, right? So just merely receiving a message from such number does not mean that it's genuine. So do not, I mean, just do not rely on like for on these SMS alerts when you are asked to do a reverse transaction immediately. Always check your bank passbook or bank balance online if you do, right? It's preferable to be waiting rather than acting, as I said. So that I think is very important. Now, government has made this very strict. For example, Axis Bank handle will be Axis Bank, right? But sometimes a fraudster might make a similar handle, like he might say AXB, which looks similar to Axis, but it is not actually an Axis Bank handle, right? And there is no way to know that. So that is why we need to be careful. Duplicate bank websites. For this, I cover. I want to cover. One second. Yeah, I want to cover this one before because it's a lot more prevalent now. This is a very recent phenomena which has started happening.
Yeah.
This is not linked to you giving your payment details to anyone. This is not linked to you giving your OTP to anyone. This is just you getting trapped in an unfortunate scenario. So I'll play the video first.
अननोन नंबर्स द्वारा आ रही व्हाट्सएप वीडियो कॉल से रहे सावधान। इंडिया में स्कैमर्स अश्लील वीडियोस को व्हाट्सएप पर दिखाकर आपसे पैसे लूट रहे हैं। स्कैमर आपको एक अननोन नंबर से व्हाट्सएप वीडियो कॉल करेगा। आपके कॉल उठाते ही आपको एक अश्लील वीडियो दिखाई जाएगी। आपके कॉल काटने से पहले वो आपका वीडियो भी रिकॉर्ड कर चुका होगा। जैसे ही कॉल आप कट करेंगे, आपको स्कैमर कॉल करके धमकाएंगे और कहेंगे कि अगर आपने उन्हें पैसे नहीं भेजे तो वो ये वीडियो आपके सारे कॉन्टैक्ट्स के साथ शेयर कर देंगे। अगर आपके साथ ऐसा स्कैम किया जा रहा है तो तुरंत पुलिस में उस नंबर की कंप्लेंट दर्ज करें। ये वीडियो अपने फैमिली मेंबर्स के साथ जरूर शेयर करें और ऐसे स्कैम से सावधान रहे।
This is happening a lot, unfortunately, with elders. What happens is you will get an unknown number video call from WhatsApp, right? I mean, unknown number call typically should not be a video call. I can understand if there is work, it can be an audio call, right? But there is no need for it to be a video call. You will get a video call from an unknown number. You will pick that call and an inappropriate video will be playing on the other side, or an inappropriate person will be there on the other side. And because your video will also be on, they'll record the full screen, right? And then they will basically share that video with you that, hey boss, we know that you are talking to an inappropriately dressed person. If you don't pay us money, we will make this public and we'll send it to your family, your friends, and we will post this on internet and whatnot, right? Now, this is happening. I mean, I think everyone needs to be very careful. I think my answer is very simple. If it's an unknown number, there is no need for them to video call you, right? An unknown number, yes, unknown numbers can call. There can be some genuine work, but they should call on audio and talk. right? I think it's again, this is not linked to you unfortunately giving your uh, OTP or your phone getting cloned. It's not a tech fraud. It's just a trap that has been set up uh, for you, basically. So I think I'll give an example of another trap which is quite common, and it can actually happen to a lot of people because it's on a rampant these days. Like it has recently come in the last 2 months. So you will get a normal call from someone who claims to be from Blue Dart or Fed or a courier company like FedEx, right? And they'll say, "Hey, we have received this parcel and we have to deliver it to your home." I mean, you will say, "Okay," because we sometimes we don't know what parcels are coming. If someone has sent a gift or a bank has sent a letter or something, they will say, "No, but we have found drugs in the packet attached to your name." And you will say, "No, no, it's not possible." They'll say, "No, we need to now register a complaint and case against you, and you will be impounded." They'll basically threaten you, right? And then uh, you will sort of get worried and you will plead, "No, no, what are you doing? It's not that, etc., etc." Uh, and then basically they'll say, "Okay, we will connect you to our senior police officer, who then you can talk to and explain your case, and maybe he'll solve it, right?" And then they'll say, "Okay, you'll get a call from WhatsApp on WhatsApp." So the person will call you properly dressed with proper iCard in a police dress and will talk to you in a rude language. "Hey, you are dealing in drugs. We've received a courier in your name which is attached to which has drugs in it, etc. You will be in jail, etc." Right? And you will get frightened at this time because the other person is a police officer, and you will plead, "No, no, sir, it's not mine." Then he'll ask you, "Okay, it's not yours. Okay, so do you want to end the case now?" Or you will say, "Yes." "Okay, okay, then I'll end the case in investigation. The case closure fees is rupees 20,000. So you have to pay it on this UPI number." And you will say, "Okay, let's get rid of it and pay 20,000, right?" This is the level of frauds that are happening right now. I mean, you go on Twitter, there are 2, 3 people that face this every day. So what I'm trying to say is that these are not earlier two things we had discussed was you sharing your bank details or OTP details and compromising your accounts. Here it's just you getting trapped in a scenario, right? So I think again we need to be very careful. I mean, if something like this happens, there is obviously a procedure for any of this. All of you are well aware that just because an unintended courier has drugs in it doesn't mean that a person who's receiving it needs to be impounded, right? Anyone can send a courier to anyone in today's time. There is a process for it. So I think at that moment of worrying, you just need to be little patient, take a deep breath, and calm down and say, "What is happening?" And then you will realize that it's not my problem, it's the other person's problem. And the moment you realize it, then you will be on the aggressive and you'll be able to come out of it, right? Sometimes it just takes that 5 minutes to think. When you're trapped in that scenario, you are in a very different mind zone. I think just take 2, 3 minutes to come out of it and you will realize what is happening, right? Happened with the group members also. So Rajiv sir saying this FedEx scam happened to my friend's mom 2 weeks ago in Bangalore. They extorted 1.2 crores. So now you can imagine. Veena ma'am is saying, "Yes, this happened in our family," said your Aadhaar is used because it's the most recent. Lakshmi Raman sir, ma'am is saying, "I received a call from someone there from FedEx and I disconnected because I think luckily ma'am was aware." And Rani ma'am is saying this happened with me, right? So now just imagine I think we have about what 20 participants in this session, and 5 people are saying that it has happened with them. So 25% of this group itself is saying it has happened with them. Just realize what is happening in India. So again, we need to be very, very careful of all of this, right? And again, FedEx is not to be blamed. I mean, they are not doing anything. Blue Dart is not doing anything. It's a new way of scam that has been set up, right?
I had a different type for trouble. I was in Bangalore and I get a message from Ola saying that I owe them 600 rupees for a trip. The trip I have not taken. And normally, if you go on a trip, you either pay in cash or you pay by wallet. And the driver wouldn't have let me go if I hadn't paid. And then the next week, I got a message saying I owe them 650 rupees. And somebody from Chhattisgarh, Haryana, in a day, I would get about 7 calls from different places telling me, we are sending you our Insta number, send it directly at this, otherwise you'll be penalized. You will be legal action will be taken. And I live alone. So I was a little worried. My daughter says, Ma, don't do anything. Don't even answer them. Just block. If I block one number, I'm getting calls from 5 other numbers. It's
Yeah.
like that. And it's really, it was worrisome at that time. Now they've stopped. But my friend said that she was charged 4,000 rupees for not even taking the trip.
Absolutely, ma'am. This can happen. Now, although I think in this case, Ola also has a product called Ola Money, which is postpaid. If you are a user of that product, you can see it in your Ola app. Then you basically don't pay it in the trip. Ola postpaid is like a credit card, which will sort of pay for your trips, and then on the first of the next month, you have to clear the bill for that. Uh, could
I
have
do
been
not
that.
I do not have we in Chennai we do not deal with the wallets because they always ask for cash upfront. And
Okay.
if you say that we'll pay you by wallet, they cancel your trip.
Absolutely. Then, ma'am, it was an attempt to basically scam you. And
Yeah.
again, as I said, I think you could have just, I mean, if I was in your place, I would have gone to Ola app and checked if I have pending payments, right? I'm
I
sure Ola
saw
is.
that. I saw that. There's nothing. I even wrote to them in that support. They said click on support and anything you have, but no answer came from them.
Understood. No, ma'am, absolutely. It's a very valid experience. And I was glad you were aware and you called your daughter and then took the right decision. Okay. Sandhya, ma'am, is writing. So the medical shop sent me QR code to make payment. Realized this was a fraud later, but can this QR code I sent GPay on have frozen my okay. Uh, I think Sandhya ma'am, if this QR basically you're saying the QR code came from someone else and not from a shopkeeper, and therefore you ended up paying on that QR code. It I mean, if you have paid on this QR code and you sent money, that money is lost, but rest of your accounts will not be compromised. You can be rest assured because yeah, so that's there. And generally, so that's basically, what I will basically say there is that your money will not be lost, more money, but whatever you have sent on GPay is lost. So your accounts are not compromised. You have frozen your accounts for 2 weeks, so that's good. But you can get them, unfreeze them. I will request you to change your UPI pin before you get them unfreeze, just to be a little more comfortable. Bestcom scams too. Yes, Bestcom scams are happening. I mean, Daisy ma'am, it's not that, it's not that Bestcom is doing it, but other people are doing it, and I have exactly the video for that. So I will now play that video.
इंडिया में हो रहा है एक नया ऑनलाइन स्कैम। स्कैमर्स आपको एक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल पेमेंट का झांसा देकर आपके पैसे चुरा रहे हैं। आपको एक फेक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल का एसएमएस भेजा जाएगा। उसमें ये लिखा होगा कि आपका इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल ऑनलाइन पे कर दीजिए, नहीं तो आपके बिल पर फाइन लगेगा या आपकी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कट जाएगी। आप उस लिंक पर क्लिक करेंगे, आपको एक वेबसाइट दिखेगी जो ऑफिशियल जैसी लगेगी, जहां आपको आपका बिल दिख जाएगा और आप उससे पे कर देंगे। बिल पे करते ही आपको एक कॉल
Sorry, I closed it by mistake.
आएगा और आपको बोला जाएगा कि आपका ट्रांजैक्शन फेल हो गया है। आपके अकाउंट से जो पैसे कटे हैं वो आपके अकाउंट में 7 दिन में वापस आ जाएंगे। फिर आपको एक नया एसएमएस भेजा जाएगा और बोला जाएगा कि आप दोबारा पेमेंट कर दीजिए। ऐसा आपके साथ 2 से 3 बार किया जाएगा और आपसे एक ही बिल को बार बार पे करवाया जाएगा। ध्यान दीजिए, इंडिया में कोई भी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बोर्ड आपको ऑनलाइन बिल पेमेंट करने के लिए नहीं मैसेज भेजते। ऐसी किसी भी लिंक पर ऑनलाइन पेमेंट ना करें और ऐसे स्कैम से सावधान रहें। इंडिया में हो
Yeah. So just I think fake electricity bill and it'll be a fake link. You will obviously in a hurry they'll create a sense of urgency that if you don't pay today, your electricity will be cut. And you will click on the link. It's a fake link. You will put your credit card details, money will get deducted, or your credit card details will get stolen for more payments at their end, right? And there is no end to it. So again, always check official websites
My
or
friend got
official.
that scam. Then, but then he alerted the cops, the cyber cops, and he got back his money. 25,000 came back, which he had paid to the SCOP.
Oh, that's good to know here, ma'am. Absolutely, it's good to hear. I think luckily it's good that the money
Immediate
came back.
action, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's very good. I think, yeah, Nankumar sir is saying absolutely right. SMS alerts from unknown numbers, the electricity bill is overdue. Please ignore. Always check the government app, Bescom app or Bescom website. If you're not comfortable, go to the Bescom nearest office and check is my bill really due or not. I think again, patience and comfort helps a lot. Nagaraj sir is saying he wants to share a scam on the insurance. Sir, please raise your hand. Sorry, yeah, please go on. I'm sure the groups will like to listen to your experience and how you
Yeah,
prevented that.
I'm a super senior citizen. I'm retired managing director of Philip Board and ex-president of the Bangalore Apartment Federation. I have an insurance policy from Star Health, which was due for renewal on 4th of Jan. I got a call on 1st or 2nd from some lady calling herself from Star Health Insurance and said that it is due, you can do it, you can make the payment. And she said she will help me in getting the amount paid through online if I download that link. So what I did was I downloaded the link. It went into the website of the Star Health, and all the things that I was doing earlier, the same URL was there till the end. She gave me the policy number, which I did not remember very well, and I had put a wrong date of birth. She corrected that also. And then when the payment was made using my card, debit card, then moment I got the acknowledgement also that the payment has been received and it will be renewed and sent, but somehow the number was fake. I thought was fake. Immediately I called the Star Health Insurance Chennai. They had not received the call. They received the payment. Immediately I called the cyber crime. I know one of the friends there. He filed an FIR and I wrote to the bank. Bank was not very helpful. They did not even give me the account to which the amount had been transferred because I requested them to reverse it immediately. They could not do it. They did not help me. So the amount was gone for about 5 days. Subsequently, I went to the vigilance of the Star Health and appraised them about this. They took it up very seriously. On one hand, the cybercrime police was investigating, on the other, Star Health. But the bank was absolutely zero. Kotak Mahindra Bank. After 5, 6 days, the vigilance people came back to us and said that, sir, you make the payment. In the meantime, we will investigate. But I don't know how it came back. I got a call from Star Health that the policy has been renewed, and I got the policy renewed, and I got a document also. In the meantime, I don't know how it went on. I feel that the insurance company itself is in hand in glove with the bank or some other player, some other person, and I got whatever I had lost in terms of renewal fees, and I got the document. This is my story.
Yes, sir. And I think in this case, what the insurance company has done is basically bases your relationship with them. They have just renewed your insurance and taken a loss. I think that is what has happened, right? But I think again, I know this is a very common fraud, which again is happening where the bank websites. So I have an example to share as well. I had this video, but I think you have covered it very well through a real life example, which is basically people create duplicate bank website, insurance websites, and ask you to pay, and design will look exactly the same. Only the URL will be different because official banks have official URLs, right? That cannot be changed. And you will go through the process, but the money has gone to someone else. I think it's again very important. Whenever we are doing online transaction, we should only download the official app, or we should go to the official website on our own. The banks typically write official websites on the checkbooks or on the publicity material. It's very important to be careful and not go to any unknown website and try to pay. I think
I have a small question. Can there be the same website? Can there be a change of the gateway, payment gateway at the end?
so payment no. So the which payment gateway to trigger is controlled by the owner of the website, right? So there cannot be the change of payment gateway. Meaning, if you are paying on, let's say, if you are paying to my company Genwise, and if you are on the right website of Genwise, and when you pay, I decide which payment gateway to open. So that cannot happen. In this case, the full website would have been fake, and not just the payment gateway.
Mr. Nehul, I want to make clear one or two points. See, the greatest mistake everyone continues to do is, like Mr. Nagaraj said, when this thing is given to download, impulsively and instantaneously we download the app or whatever this thing, and that will be fake. And once you feed one or two details, all your details are open to them, and they, in a fraction of a second, 1, 2, 3, like 3 or 4 transactions happen before you realize what you should not. I did the same mistake. No, the moment I said Bescom, and it led me to the Bescom this thing only, and I got perfect messages. Fortunately for me, I rushed to the bank. The bank was very helpful, and they are watching some customers probably. I don't know. I immediately received from the bank, something fishy is happening. So immediately they blocked my account. That was I should say, God only saved me. It was fortunate. I rushed to the bank and they immediately closed my net banking. Everything I got closed because it happened. And one is another country.
Yeah,
email income tax refund. You get a mail that your refund. Immediately, you are so curious to see when it has come, what is the amount, and click the link, finish. The whole thing is gone. So they say, income tax department say, don't click on any link. Go to your bank and then check whether you have received the refund.
Incidentally,
this keeps happening, and
incidentally, I got the.
I want to say one thing there. See, you will be downloading apps because you come across new services. Always download apps either from Play Store if you're on Android, or App Store, because they will typically not allow a fake Bestcom app or a fake bank app to be registered, or in this case, fake Star Alliance app to be there, right? They have a very good policy and checking process. I think if you're on the phone, if you're using an app, always download from these two sources only and not from any link. This fraud, which is very prevalent. It's the last one I want to cover because it has been attempted. Now, this is basically you will get a lot of international WhatsApp messages these days. Hey, you want to do a job for 5,000 rupees per day,
Yeah.
and then what happens? Let's see.
स्कैमस्टर्स आपको व्हाट्सएप के इंटरनेशनल नंबर से मैसेज भेज के जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी या जल्दी पैसा कमाने के स्कीम्स के बारे में बता के आपके पैसे चुरा रहे हैं। आपको एक आकर्षक अपॉर्चुनिटी के बारे में बताया जाएगा जिसमें आप घर बैठे बैठे ही महीने के 50,000 या दिन के 5,000 रुपए तक कमा सकते हैं। आपको सिर्फ कुछ वीडियोस को लाइक या शेयर करने को बोला जाएगा। जल्दी पैसे कमाने के लालच में आप इस स्कीम में अप्लाई करने के लिए अपनी पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन जैसे अपना बैंक अकाउंट या डेबिट कार्ड डिटेल्स एंटर कर देंगे, जिसमें आपको लगेगा कि आपकी सैलरी क्रेडिट होगी। जॉब कंफर्म करने के लिए आपसे OTP मांगा जाएगा, जो स्क्रीन पे डालते ही आपके अकाउंट से पैसे कट जाएंगे। इस स्कैम से कैसे बचे? आप किसी भी अनजान व्यक्ति के इंटरनेशनल नंबर से आए व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस को इग्नोर करें और उस नंबर को ब्लॉक या रिपोर्ट करें। जल्दी पैसा कमाने के लालच में ऐसे स्कैम्स का शिकार ना बने।
I'll give you this. This, by the way, happened with me, and I think a lot of you get international message and then saying you want to earn 200 rupees a day. and then you say yes, and they will sort of start trapping you. So I'll tell you the trap that they lay, right? Uh, I, by the way, went into this trap to test it out as to what can happen. So I got a message, hey, you want to earn 500 rupees a day? I said yes. He said, okay, let's test you out. We'll send you two links. You like these links and share a screenshot, and we'll give you 150 rupees in your bank account. I said, okay. I went, there were two normal videos, nothing inappropriate about them. One was a video of a ITC hotel in Kolkata, and one was a video of a tourist site in Greece. So I liked those two videos, sent the screenshot. Then they tell me, okay, share me your account details. I said, okay, I shared my account details because, I mean, just sharing an account detail doesn't lead to any fraud. And I shared my account details, and then I got 150 rupees in my bank account. Real money. Like I checked my passbook, I had received rupees 150. And I was very surprised as to what is happening. I mean, these scamsters have actually given me money. I said, okay, let's see what happens next. Then they added me to a group in Telegram saying, you have cleared level 1. Now we'll clear level 2. And then they basically, then they say, okay, level 2 is that we have an investment scheme where we will invest your money in crypto assets. And what happened was, in that group, there were 10 people, and I was the 11th entry, right? So those 10 people were constantly sending videos. Hey, I made 50,000 today from investing. I made 60,000 rupees, right? And all of them were looking genuine users. And I was there. I think I was the bait in that group. So they said me, okay, see, everyone in your group is earning. You also want to earn, pay us 50,000 rupees, and you will get double next day, right? Just like everyone is getting. And then I understood what is happening. Basically, they had entered me into a group of 11 people in which 10 people were working for them, sharing free screenshots, so that I was given a comfort that this can also happen with me, and I should give them 50,000 rupees. Now, I knew if I give them 50,000 rupees, it's never coming back. But this scenario was so real that if I was not from this industry, I would have fallen for it. Because I'm seeing fellow peers like me earning money, sharing screenshots. So I think, again, a very, very sophisticated trap that is now being set up. And again, I will request to be very, very careful. I think with this, I think we have run out of time. I will stop.
Good evening to you. Thank you so much for this wonderful information that has been given. I just got a doubt. The latest camp that is coming up in the Instagram saying about Laila Rao and some other persons where you'll have to pay around 10,000 for the beginning, and in return you get back around 1 lakh or something like that. So one of my friend was, given this website, and she, in fact, joined in, replied for this, and she paid 10,000, and she was really shocked to know that after receiving some amount, and the next hour she just checked her passbook and she found that there was none. Nil, her account number was nil. So I just wanted to know, is this really official site or is it a fake one?
So what happened in this case, I had given an earlier example. She would have gotten a message from the bank, right? Saying that 50,000 rupees received.
Yeah.
And then when she checked in the bank account, there was no money, right? That's what happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
So because the message came from a fake handle, ma'am, right?
Okay.
It's like me sending you a message that rupees 50,000 have been received in your ICICI bank account, reference number XXYYZZ, right? That has no meaning. So it's very, very important, to basically, I would say, do not, it's very, very important to always check your bank account statement or bank account passbook to basically see your balance, right? Because a lot of times you can actually be defrauded by sending a fake balance. I think for a smaller amount, it's okay. 50, 100 rupees, on a daily basis, you can rely on SMS. But if the amount is large, it's always good to log in and check.
Nehul sir, is this genuine? What is it? Genuine site that you get it onto the Instagram where a lot of things coming up regarding Laila Rao and saying that? it is from the government of India and all that.
I haven't seen the website yet, so I will not know, and I don't want to call anything fake just by seeing it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if I can see the website, I will be able to get back to you separately on that.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
that